You can save literally hundreds of dollars every month on software subscriptions if you learn how to use Notion to build your own internal tools. One recent example, I wanted to build an ambassador/referral program for one of my businesses. And after shopping around at the dedicated software solutions, everything was either one, way too expensive, like $300 a month, or two, too complex for what I needed and kind of overkill. All I really needed was a place to onboard and provide some information about the program for new ambassadors, to give them a place to track their referrals, see their discount code and their login details, and to help them track any promotional content and add it into a calendar. And I realized, of course, that all of this can be done in Notion. So I went ahead and built a brand ambassador hub in Notion. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a similar workspace from scratch. So to start, I just wanted to give a preview of what we will be building, something similar to this, like this Bizway Ambassadors Hub. So you can, of course, adjust the actual details of the program to fit whatever your ambassador or affiliate program will look like. For me, I've broken it down into 3 phases. We have a feedback phase where I'm trying to elicit feedback from new ambassadors. I give them an account so I can list their account details. And then there's a section for them to fill out feedback. Then there's a promotional stage where they're on trial to see how well and successfully they can promote the Bizway platform along with the payout schedule. And then there's a phase 3 for those successful ambassadors who will be offered an ongoing paid role. So the idea is that I will give a copy of this hub for each individual ambassador. So this is the template, and then what I would do is, for the first ambassador, I would rename it as this, share it with them, invite them to the workspace, and then they have access to all the pages in this menu with all the details about their program, and we can both track the status of their referrals and promotional content and so on. So they can navigate through this little side menu, so they can learn about the role, they can provide feedback with these questions here, they can track their promotions and promotional content, there's more details about the payout terms, and they can track their referrals here. So that's a quick preview of what we will be building, but again, we're going to build this entire thing from scratch from a fresh Notion page. So, fresh page, let's start with the title, brand. Now what I do is I tend to set my pages to small text and full width. So I'm just going to quickly outline what we're going to build. So we're going to build the home overview page. We're going to build the role page, feedback page, promotions, payouts, and a place to track referrals. So this is our page list that's going to be inside of this hub. Now, if you're familiar with Landmark and my Notion templates, then you're probably going to see this as familiar. But what I'm going to build now is a synced side menu. And that's first of all going to make it easier to build out this hub as like a little contained workspace. So I'm going to quickly do that. What we need is a call out block. First spot in the menu is going to be the home page. Then we need a new block. So I'm going to drag that into the call out. Let's make it a divider. And now I'm going to build the new page button, which is going to help me build out the other pages a bit more quickly. So let's make a button. New page. Again, you don't have to do it this way. This is just my way of building workspaces. I find it helpful, but if it's too confusing to follow along, you can skip this section where I'm adding new pages. So the way that I do it is we're going to insert a block here. The block is going to be a page, and we're going to call this new page. You can see that I'm editing a template in a button right now. So if I head back, I'll go back to my hub. Now what I need to do is turn this menu into a synced block. So I've just selected the whole call out block, turned it into a synced block. Now everything that gets added in here is going to update everywhere that we have this synced block. So I need to copy this block, go into my button, go into the new page, and add the menu. So we have the menu, but we want our pages to all look the same, so I'm going to add the same formatting. And I'm also going to just make life easier and create this 2-column layout. So now we have our menu on the left, and we have our content on the right. So again, this is the template content for a button. So what's going to happen is every time I click the button, it's going to create a page like that. Let's add this over here as well so that we have the same format everywhere. And you're going to see that when I click this button, we have a new page that got created. If I click into the page, it has the menu and it has this empty space to add more content. One more thing that I can do to make things a bit easier is copy the link to this page, which is my home page. Copy the link and just paste the link into that home spot. So now whenever I click home, I head back to my home page. So what I'm going to do is create a page for each of the pages that I listed earlier. So role, rename this as my role page, new page, rename as feedback. Okay, and now I have the pages that I need. So I can either get rid of this button or maybe I'll think of something else and I'll want to use it again later. And I can just navigate between these pages now from this side menu, and my ambassadors will be able to do the same. So let's head home. What I wanted to do here was provide a bit of an overview of the program. So let's just do, and I've already written it for my previous ambassador program, so I might just paste that. But if you are writing it from scratch, you could also use Notion's AI to help you draft this ambassador program overview. So you could hit space and then you could just write a prompt like, help me outline a brand ambassador program for my business. Let's just do Bizway again. Bizway.io. It should include 3 phases: feedback phase, promotional, and long-term ambassador. Referrals will be tracked via discount code. And let's just see what Notion's AI comes up with for this. So it's got the phases, 1, 2, 3. Not bad, not a bad start. So you can play around with Notion's AI if you'd like some help mapping out or sketching out the outline for your ambassador program. What I would also like though is a timeline as shown in the preview. So what I can do here is create a timeline view. It's going to be a new database, and let's just say program timeline. I'm just going to do this way, ambassadors. And here we can just use the timeline to map out the dates for the various phases of our program. I'm going to zoom out a little bit by quarter. And what we can do is we can just copy paste the information that has been written here into the phase in the timeline. So when people click in, let's say phase 1, feedback, paste it here. Go to the next phase. Okay, so we've got our timeline at the top. We could do a little welcome message. Welcome. Not bad. Obviously could use a little bit of polishing, but I leave it to you. Next, we have the role. Again, this is where you could ask Notion AI to just summarize some information about the role. So what you could do is take this information that it has generated earlier. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to head over to the role. And I'm going to say, outline the role details for ambassadors based on the following information. Paste all of that and ask Notion's AI to help me write up this role page. We could also add an About You section if we wanted to, for example, post on social media welcoming the new ambassador. So we could say, about you, and we could say, brainstorm a list of 5 questions we can ask new ambassadors so that we can fill out their bios. There you go. So we have some prompts for them to fill out. Okay, that's the role. Give it an icon. Let's say this is the role. Feedback. Now what I found to be a useful structure for this is actually a gallery with a list of questions in sections. So let's create that now. Say gallery view. Let's say feedback questions. I'm going to delete all of these. First of all, actually, we need to add the right properties. So we don't need this created date. What we need is the section, and this is going to be a single select. Then we need a status property. So, not answered, in progress, done. That's fine. And for the sections, I'm going to come up with a few different categories of questions for the feedback that I'm seeking. So, user experience, functionality, overall satisfaction, marketing and messaging, and recommendations. So now I can edit the view to make it look the way that I would like. So first of all, I'm going to have no page content in the preview. I'm going to make the card size small, and then I'm going to make sure it opens, sorry, move my head, on side peek. And I'm also going to select all of these properties to show on the card. Last thing, I'm going to group it by the section. So, as I add questions, they're going to be added into the relevant section, and then we're going to get this kind of structured list gallery of questions for ambassadors to answer. So, user experience, how easy did you find it to create your initial business roadmap in Bizway? Any loading issues while using the app? And you can see that as we're adding new sections to questions, we're actually building out the different groups. So you can fill out this with as many questions as you like. And the idea is the ambassador comes in, they see these questions, they click in, and they can just add their response here. So, that's great. So, that's feedback. Let's add an icon and move on to promotions. Again, this is really just a document with some information about the actual promotional terms that you're going to use. If you are using a discount code, this is where you can add a unique code for each user. So you might do John10 as the discount code that ambassadors can use. You can provide information about ways that they could promote your product. You might even provide examples of content or post ideas that they could use. And then what we can do is we can create a calendar here where we can track the posts that they have made. So let's just do a calendar view here. Let's say content promotions. And the ambassador can click in and add any new content that they've added. So let's make it easy for them to add a link to the post. Post link. We could also add, we could change this tag to be the platform that they posted on. So let's say, I don't know, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, etc. You get the idea. And then they can tag it with the relevant platform that they posted it to. So we could add a status feature to understand whether or not it has been published or started or in progress. So let's just make this one published. And we can change which properties we want to see. Let's just add all of these properties to the post. So this will be really handy for me as the business owner to come in and take a look. What has this ambassador been posting and promoting, and where is the content that they've been promoting? So the ambassador can simply input their details of the post here, and we can take a look as the business owner. So that's promotions. Payouts, again, this is basically just like information, contract information, and the terms of your payouts. So this will be different for every business. Again, I'm just going to copy this since it's basically just text, and there's nothing fancy to be done here in Notion. So these are the payout terms for the Bizway Ambassador Program. You can add any clauses or extra information that are useful to know, and then the payout schedule. In my case, I'm doing it via PayPal, and it will be at the end of every month. So I'll be tallying up the referrals on this referrals page. Successful referrals will then have their rewards added, and I will send it out via PayPal to those ambassadors. And lastly, we're just going to have a place where they can track their referrals. So your referrals, we're going to do it as a table. We're going to create a new database for this, which is going to be referrals. And the way that I've set it up is I wanted the main property to be the customer ID. So I use Stripe to process payments for Bizway. That's where I can track individual customers. So this is going to be the customer ID. So this is where I'll be able to tell which customer is which. I'm going to have a date property, which is going to be the sign up date. So this is when the customer, in my case, started the free trial, which is a 7-day free trial. I'm going to add a status property for the subscription status. So again, this is going to be trial started. Cancelled. Or converted. Hooray. I'm also going to list the plan that the customer signed up for, since that's going to be relevant for the rewards payout. So let's do the plan. And then I'm going to add Bizway's plan tiers. So we have plan, we have launch, and we have grow plans. Then I'm going to have a number column to track the actual reward that the affiliate gets for this conversion. So I'm going to do it in US dollars as a number. And then I'm going to have one more status property, which is going to be the payment status, which is for me to know whether or not I have paid out this reward. Not paid, scheduled, and paid. And that's it. So as this ambassador refers customers, so let's say, sign up date was today, that would go into the trial started subscription status. Let's say they're on the launch plan. The reward I'm not going to fill out yet because they haven't won the reward. As soon as one of these converts, then I will add the reward amount. So for the launch plan, I think it was $25. And let's say after I've paid it, I will mark it as paid. And that's it. In the end, we didn't need any more new pages, so I'm going to delete this button. We can do a little bit more polishing. Might add some nice cover images that are kind of on brand for the Bizway brand. And there you have it. That's our very own brand ambassador hub. I'm going to mark this one as the template. And then whenever I actually sign up a new ambassador, these are the steps that I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate the entire workspace. So I need to do it from the home page. I'm going to click duplicate. Then I'm going to rename it to the name of the ambassador. So in this case, John Doe. Then I'm going to fill in the details that are necessary. So I actually skipped that part. Let's just add a section in phase 1 for their account details. And so what I'll need to do for John Doe is I'll need to actually create an account in Bizway for them. John Doe at Gmail. And then I'll set their password here. I'll also need to add their promotional discount code, so John10. And then it's ready to share. So all I need to do is hit share and invite this particular ambassador to this workspace as a guest. So for my needs, that's all I really need out of a brand ambassador hub, a place to onboard new ambassadors, give them information about the program, give them their unique login details and their promotional code, let them track and tell me when they've posted content so I can take a look in the calendar which posts are out there, give them information about the payouts and terms, and then track the referrals and payouts that have been paid and the status of all of these items from one simple hub. So obviously, dedicated SaaS platforms that are handling ambassador programs and affiliate programs going to have much more features, going to probably be slicker and easier to use. But for my case, this is all I need, and I can do it in Notion. And it's just one example of an internal tool that once you learn and kind of get the basics of Notion under your belt, then you can start building all sorts of useful tools for your business, save money on those software subscriptions, and actually customize it to be exactly the way that you want it. So if you have any questions about how to implement and build this system, just leave me a comment. Otherwise, if you prefer to just use the template as shown, then you'll find a copy of it in the Landmark Labs library. It's a paid membership to access the library, but once you pay the membership, you get access to all of our business Notion templates. Thanks for watching.